less than half as many people in there, in that department, so.
Okay.
Have as many people left in the water department?
In that customer service division part of the water department.
Did they change people?
Well, it's proposed that they will. The
So
Current
taking
budget is-
some out of the water department before, we're gonna take less now?
current personal services is 147,400. The requested is 61,000.
Why would we think that? Why would we think that the customer service department is going to change? That was the way it's gonna be, plus.
I'm not the expert on the water department.
Potentially, Madam Chair, I'm reading the item reflected under 702,000. Because the customer service division is responsible primarily to read and service water meters, in addition to investigate customer complaints. The water and sewer commission is evaluating the process of electronic submittal for meter reading, so that might be one person less doing meter reading, so that would be customer service.
So you're not talking about the customer center call service, you're talking about customer service.
Right, that would be meter, so instead of having somebody that drives the city and collects by driving past the house, right now, our meters are read from driving
Right.
past the house and it pulls it in.
Right.
They're evaluating the concept of bringing it to transmit it to a central location automatically. So
So no one would even come out to check that?
it would be sent automatically to it versus having to drive past it, physically drive past it.
Do you have anyone here that is an expert on the water department?
As far as what?
You just said you're. Why are people's water bill, and I'm gonna ask you again, because there's something there, and I'm not getting my answer, and you know I'm gonna keep on gonna get it. If I have to go somewhere else to get it. Why would someone that lives here, two people, their water bill so much lower than someone lives over here? And if you tell me it's the area you live in that the water bill's more, that's what it is, I think, but that's
Could be
great.
the size of the meter, maybe?
What do you mean, the size of the meter?
It should be strictly on consumption.
But it isn't, and I could take 12 people, I know, and show you it isn't.
So if there's,
And I don't shower 10 times a day, so come on. And I don't have any leaks, I checked, I did all the checks. I have no leaks, and my water bill is 3 times what the average person is that has 2 people in their home. When I moved from where I lived before to this house, my water bill went up $30 a month. And I've complained about it ever since, just because I moved. Now, come on, you don't use more because, I understand the summer, I don't complain when I have my sprinkler. I don't complain at all. Even though I don't like it, I know I use my sprinkler. But I'm talking about in the other months, so there is something not quite right in this system. And I'm telling you. I checked everything. I checked exactly the way I was told, and I checked the meter, I've done everything. I put the tabs in the toilet, looked for the stains.
that's the next step, is to send out a customer service rep to take a look at it.
It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, that other people's so much lower.
Your neighbors are less, is that what you're saying?
No, some of the other end of town, on the north end, let's say that has a small house. Does that mean they shower less? Go to the bathroom less? I mean, that's all basic. That's why I need an expert.
Send out a customer service rep.
It may seem like a small thing, but it just doesn't seem. Well, it runs about, they work $70 every 2 months. Well,
I have a leak in mine.
mine used to be that, mine used to be like that too when I had my kids at home and stuff, so I didn't say. I had 2 teenagers there, other people, you know, and I mean, pools and water, and so I knew, should know accounting for what it was. But when you have when you're more controlled with it, and you know you weren't, doesn't seem like it. I don't know. Anyway, okay, we'll move on, sorry.
You just leave it out there, take a look at
Okay.
it.
I brought this station.
Any other questions? Sure, any other questions regarding any of these, water funds?
Remember that one for page 8? I took a brownfield, if I could.
Pardon me, pardon me, Dennis?
Of what?
Page 8, I don't have pages.
Which page?
The budget.
Under the budget.
Oh, yeah. 19. I'm reading this right, this shows a fund balance
So
on
there, Jackie, that one on the right, yeah, it should be on page 8.
TIFA for the end of this fiscal year of $4,160,830. Yet within the next year, we're looking at $1,895,000. And some of that, I assume, is the million plus that we are doing for the bond refunding.
But actually, that's not
No, I
in
don't
there.
see it either,
It's
Jackie, where is it?
the capital outlay that was discussed
It is
at, I don't know if it was last meeting or a couple meetings ago, the water project and what's the other, two projects that they voted on?
Possibly that 94.
Oh, yeah, the I-94, Beverly and the Van Born. Those two projects, you see, there's a capital outlay line item, $1,590,000.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the sum of those two items or if there's anything else in there, but it,
The vehicle is 800,000.
But that does include the million.
it doesn't include the million, that is still ultimately up in the air, but it has been proposed, yes.
Is the proposed savings in that included?
No, nothing related to that, potential bond is included yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so. Any changes to this too, like when we do the, with decibel elimination plan, whenever the state decides what they're done with us on that, or accept it, or whatever, or deny it, or we change it, when like the building sells, do we also file like do we immediately have to file amendments when things like that happen? To the state?
It's, it affects the deficit plan in the negative.
Right,
Okay.
It's to the good.
they care about the bottom line.
I see.
So if we
Okay.
deviate from the bottom line in a way that causes the deficit to increase, then yes, we have to notify them immediately. If we're just like, oh, you know, this department has 20,000, but that department needs 20,000 and we're just moving it, they don't care about that.
Okay,
It's just the bottom line.
all right.
Do we have a budget for this one?
Okay, so yeah, we're starting to look at the budget here, that's where we're at. So we're, on number 11, just looking over these budget numbers, the last edition that you're giving us here.
And the one I just handed to you, if you didn't already have it, that's the one that the summary of changes pertains to.
Okay.
That's what it's explaining that.
Can I ask why you changed it? Why we got this, you just gave us that last.
Well, we gave you the numbers and we gave,
You gave us the updated one.
we gave you the summary page that said, here's was the original proposal, here's was the 5-year DEP, and this was the differences that we kind of talked through on Monday and Tuesday, what some of those differences were, so. We went back, think through, and trying to address, against, from my perspective, you know, as far as the things that we need to consider, that have been out of our discussion for recent weeks and months, are areas like the police department overtime and the use of forfeiture funds. If those forfeiture funds start to lessen and we don't have $1 million plus necessary to maintain overtime, we're gonna have to pull money back into the overtime account to deal with it.
I thought the federal grant was for overtime.
The what?
The federal forfeiture was for overtime.
Yes. Sounds good.
Okay, then why are we at this point concerned about the overtime that the federal?
Because we have to, it's forfeiture funds, so we have to continue to get that level of forfeiture funds in annually in order to sustain paying out the million plus that we move that way.
So where are we at forfeiture funds? We're low. On the federal forfeiture fund, are we low? Are we that concerned about this year that we won't have enough money to cover the overtime?
Not this year.
$240,000, that's all right?
You talking about for this budget? Are we concerned for this budget that we're not gonna have enough money with the
That's
federal
federal
forfeiture?
Treasury and Justice, that's page 10 of the budget, the white pages.
Okay.
The Treasury
That
or
was,
Justice.
that was to alleviate
Yes,
the
we
general
could.
fund, I thought.
Treasury and Justice Circle.
Yes, it could be a problem.
333.
It could be a problem this year for the federal forfeiture fund?
When you say this year, I think you mean next year's
No,
budget.
but for this budget, when I say this year, this
Right.
budget.
Correct, so if you look at the bottom line estimating, remember we went through this last year, the problem is that we're not supposed to estimate revenue, is that correct?
Right.
Stan? So, we're not supposed to estimate revenue, so we're estimating expense, charging it off, and that number is significantly lessened, which doesn't go along, I don't know if that's in line with anticipated expenditures or just lessening, so. At $1.2 million, unless we pull in $1 million worth of revenue to deal at that, we'd have $30,000 in forfeiture
How much
funds.
forfeiture fund do we use it right now? Each year.
Well, last year was 528,000. This year it's budgeted at 210,000. We never know what it's
And
gonna
that's
be.
basically what's been taken.
Okay, do we have a, do we have a 5-year window of what it's been? I mean, you have to go
Well,
by something.
I think, again, and not estimating that, when we sat down with Chief and his command staff, I think Command Corral at that point felt somewhat comfortable that we were pulling in roughly 700,000 annually, seemed to be the number.
So we're roughly pulling in about 700,000 for the federal.
So if we continue to spend $1.2 million, that's also the pot that we've
But we just started
placed all this
getting,
equipment.
we just began to be able to use that fund last year, wasn't it? For overtime.
No, we just got the answer, the critical answer as to whether or not you could, and it was that anything unfunded could still go there, could be charged off to that. We still have $250,000 in our budgeted overtime account.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, so we have money in the overtime.
So we have $1.5 million is what we were spending in overtime in the past.
So, but I'm saying the last year, I think they just started allowing us, correct, to use the federal forfeiture to cover our overtime, wasn't it last year?
Yes, but
Well, I don't think we necessarily, they've never allowed you to, we just never investigated it. I don't have that answer, I mean, it was just never
I thought we
investigated.
we got permission.
I think Jason had come with some experience that knew that other communities had done some of that.
So we had always done it and just,
No, we weren't doing
no,
that.
we weren't doing it. So last year we began using the federal.
State is the one that the law was changed to.
Well, I know state changed, but for us, we weren't doing the, I remember
Correct.
last year.
Absolutely
With
correct.
the adoption of last year's budget, it was
Right.
brought to our attention that unbudgeted overtime could be used towards